My name's Damon and I'm the lead product trainer for SoundOff Signal. Today, I'm here to talk to you about this guy, the new mpower 4x2. It's like having two mpowers in one. This light is packed with new functionality. We've got all the stuff that an mpower has always done, where you can control the different functions of the light depending on which wires you're giving power to. And it'll run just like that, but it's got a bunch of new functions. That's something that we've never had with a single mpower. So, I mean, previously in the past, maybe you had two of them stacked one on top of another. Well, this is going to do a lot of the same stuff that you can do with two different lights, and it's built into one. So let's talk about it for a minute. Out of the box, it's got normal functionality. You turn on the red wire, it's going to flash all three colors, the whole light. That's the out of the box functionality. But if you power this up and hook it up with ConfigureIT, you can really start changing the way that this light works. In ConfigureIT, you can actually set it to power a whole bank of lights to do one thing and another bank of lights to do something else. So I could have something like this bank up here is maybe set to steady, and this bank down here is flashing my red blue pattern or something like that. And so I've got a function where I'm not losing warning and I have scene lighting. You can go through and you can set half of it to do cruise. You can set half of it to flash one color and the other half to flash the other color. You've got modes for it flashes the whole light. You've got the alternate version of that. So if you had two lights, they're going back and forth. So the simultaneous, the alternate. We have a both version where it flashes this on both phases. So that's something new where the light will actually flash on both phases. So it's going to be very much like Blueprint in that case. And then additionally, there's one more pattern mode where it's got wigwag, where it's going to flash the top and then the bottom. And they're just going to sit there and go back and forth. So it's very much like a split light, but it's a little different because I can have multiple colors flashing on each half the light. So red, red, blue, blue, white, white if I wanted to. Now, with all that said, the other thing that this has is the white wire. Traditionally in the past with an mpower light, the white wire had to be powered up at the same time as a red or the red-white wire. You don't have to do that anymore. The white wire is now an active trigger. It will actually turn on features by itself if you need it to. So with ConfigureIT, this light now has 7 different ways it can flash. Okay, if like I said, you could have half of it doing a scene light, half of it doing a cruise light. You can have some of it flashing one color or flashing another color. The top could flash red, the bottom could be set to flash blue. However you need to set it up, you've got the capability to do that. And again, you've got the 3 different trigger wires, something that we haven't had in the past. So let's talk about Blueprint and how this works with Blueprint. With Blueprint, the red wire does what it's always done, color 1. And then the red-white wire, which is actually orange on this, the red-white wire, that does color 2. And when you energize those together, they do color 3. Okay, so if you had a red-blue-white light, you'd get one color for red, one color for blue, and the final one would be your white when you have both your red and your orange wires powered up at the same time. But the white wire is also a function inside of Blueprint. And let me explain it to you. We're going to start with if the light is off. There's nothing else going on. If I power up the white wire, and let's assume this is a red, blue, white light. I power up the white wire, the whole light is going to go steady white. Now, let's talk about what happens when you have the light flashing back and forth between your red and blue, or maybe it's going red, white, blue, white, whatever, however you have it set up. So you're flashing the red and the orange wires, and that's getting your pattern, right? When you energize the white wire at that point, it overrides half the light. Okay, so let's think about that for a second. White wire tied to maybe a white light. Turn that on. I got flashing going on, and half the light turns on white. Okay, I've got scene functionality and I have warning functionality. I have not reduced the functionality of this light at that point. I've actually improved its function because now the light is doing 2 things at the same time, something that you can't do with a standard mpower light. That makes this a very versatile light and very desirable, being able to keep the scene light and have the warning at the same time. And again, you can do that with ConfigureIT or you can do it with Blueprint. But here's what I want you to picture. If we had 4 of these lights lined up on the side of a car with Blueprint, and we're alternating the red and the orange wires back and forth, we're getting our color changing patterns and stuff like that, and we want to energize one light to go white, well, we would just take the red and orange wires for that particular light and go steady, and that one light will go white, right? So you still have that control over that one light. But here's what I want you to picture. That white wire, take that white wire and run it as well as all the other whites off of all the other lights, take those all to one output, okay? So now you've got a flash pattern going on, right? And you decide you want to turn your alley on. Well, you hit the alley button, and the alley button overrides half the light on all four of those lights. So all four of those lights, half the light goes white. So now I have scene functionality and warning. Haven't lost either one. And boom. All right. That's a twofold function. And then on top of that, if that white wire is primarily your alley output, if the light's not flashing the other wires, the red and the orange wires, then the white wire is going to override the whole light at that point, and the whole light goes to a steady white. So, I mean, you can see there's a lot of functionality just packed into this, okay? Now, for you harness builders, it comes with a plug. That's pretty cool. So you can take this plug, put it on your workbench or your pegboard or your harness board, whatever it is, and you can actually wire the whole car with this guy without ever actually putting the harness in the car until you're actually ready to do it. That's incredibly impressive. So doing that, you lay the whole harness in the car at the very end and pigtail these wires out of where everything's going to get connected. All the connections are already made, and boom, just plug it in and put it on the car, and you're good to go. That simple. So a quick rundown of everything, okay? We've got the different flash patterns with ConfigureIT, okay? Independent control over the different banks of the light. The white wire is now an active trigger. With or without blueprint, it is an active trigger. We've got the plug on it, and it does come in all of our normal mounting options. So you've got the VHB mount, quick mount, you've got the stud mount, and the screw mount. What more can you ask for out of a light? This thing's really impressive. You should check one out. If you haven't seen one yet, give us a call or give your rep a call. We'll definitely come out and show you one of these things. They're really impressive. I think you're going to like it. So that's all I've got for today.